Down the Barrel Podcast with Jimmy, Dino, and Jared.
Rural Minnesota is where much of our wildlife lives, where much of our public land exists, and where some of our best habitat work gets done. So why is Greater Minnesota being shut out of CPL funding? That's what we're talking about today on Down the Barrel Podcast.
Yeah. So what is exactly CPL?
Yeah. So CPL stands for Conservation Partners Legacy Grant Program. So it's a grant-funded habitat program. It comes through the Outdoor Heritage Fund, which is part of the Clean Water, Land, and Legacy Amendment that Minnesota's voters approved, right? And have
I was going to say, we just had something on that.
Yeah, and so this was entirely voted for by residents of the state of Minnesota, and it's basically a tax, right, that we are paying to preserve our water, our land, and our outdoor legacy here in the state.
Which is important to most Minnesotans.
Well,
you would hope
this
so.
Last time
the vast majority
was like 85% or something.
Yeah, right.
So it's part of this broader funding program, right? This tax-funded program. But what the CPL is specifically, the Conservation Partners Legacy Program, is a portion of that funding. The DNR every year applies for that funding. They're granted that funding. And then from there, they're able to redistribute that funding through these smaller grants to nonprofit organizations and, to do habitat projects all around the state. But they all have to focus on, water, wildlife, conservation. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of in general what that program is. It's a subset of this taxpayer-funded conservation funding that is then reallocated by the DNR for specific habitat projects.
What you're saying then, and correct me if I'm wrong, MDHA asked for this money and it's given to MDHA to do whatever MDHA wants.
No.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, originally, like I said, the money is given to the DNR.
Okay.
Right. But with the constraints that it has to be redistributed for these wildlife habitat projects. From there, groups such as MDHA are able to apply through the DNR for these CPL funds to be able to do these smaller projects, anywhere from $50,000 to up to $500,000.
Okay. But MDHA keeps a lot of that money. Right.
You're just being an ass on purpose.
Well, that's how we get funded, right?
I'll be the devil's advocate.
I know
here.
you
Yeah.
are.
I want you to answer me. I mean, not even MDHA, all conservation.
Any group, right?
Because there's numerous, a ton of them that take advantage of this program.
Yes.
And I know there's a misconception, I think, out there that this is where they get all their money from.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people think, MDHA just got this CPL grant funding.
Right.
That's going to affect their bottom line. It's going to go into their general budget, and that's what's paying their staff salaries and their, to keep the lights on at the office. And that couldn't be further from the truth, right? This funding has to be extremely micromanaged, down to like every expense and everything. And we actually don't receive the funding up front. We pay out of pocket to do these projects.
Right, for the entire project.
The entire project. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the fiscal year, any of the grants we were awarded, we can then apply for reimbursement for those funds we've already spent. But that request has to come with receipts, right? I spent $30,000 on an excavator to come do whatever, right?
Exactly.
On top of that, so don't tell my board this. We actually lose money by doing these projects, right? Because not only are we not making money through the grant funding, but we have to put up 10% matching funds in order to receive the funding in the first place. Mm-hmm. So if we're applying for $50,000 to do, let's say, a thermal cover project in, the Arrowhead, right? In order to receive that $50,000, we have to put in $5,000. And the way we do that is by working with our chapters in the area, working with other nonprofits that work in the area to come up with that $5,000 of matching funds to then be able to leverage that against the $50,000 to be able to achieve that work. Mm-hmm. 10% of that funding comes out of our pocket, right? And we raise that funding, through our fundraising
Exactly.
and through partner organizations. And our Hides for Habitat is a big one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me. I mean, I get it. Our money goes to these so we can actually do the good work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got to put our skin in the game too.
Right. And that's why we're here, is to do this good work. And we're lucky enough to be able to get some of this money, but we do have to actually technically pay for the money to do the project.
Which, as we should, that is
right.
our
And
mission
that's
as an
our mission.
organization.
Yeah. And that's where the money we raise goes.
Yeah.
At least a portion of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. A big portion of everything we raise goes right back into Minnesota Habitat.
Right. Then this is going to affect our ability to do some of this good work in a vast majority of the state, is my understanding.
You are 100% correct, but we haven't even defined what this is yet.
Right. The CPL stuff. Okay. So I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right. You are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is what CPL is, right?
Right.
But this change that we're talking about
for next year,
going into fiscal year 27.
Right. Which fiscal year? When does that start?
It already did.
Right. So it's technically now, right?
Yeah. So it's in effect now.
Right.
And so that started July 1st.
Okay.
Yep. And so basically what this change is we can no longer apply for that CPL funding, any organization, for the vast majority of rural Minnesota, right? That CPL funding was restricted to the 7-county metro area, and then any city 50,000 or more around the state.
Is 3 cities, I believe, outside of the metro.
Yep. Yep, exactly. And so this funding is now restricted to only be able to be used for the same mission, the habitat restoration, the wildlife projects.
Which is good. Those areas still need some of that. So we fully support that.
100%. We support them getting funding. Right?
Absolutely. And they always have.
They always have. But now they're getting all of that funding.
Right.
And that's a big concern, right? Because as you mentioned at the start, the vast majority of our wildlife and our habitat that people recreate on and hunt on does not fall within that 7-county metro or those 3 other cities, right? So there are other funding sources available, to still continue doing that work. But this was a big pool of money that was devoted for this purpose that conservation groups have been able to take advantage of for years to do great, important work.
Right.
And now it's very limited.
Yeah, because it shows here 13.7 million.
Yep.
That's a lot of zeros.
Right.
It is a lot of zeros.
That's a lot of money. And that's crazy. An increase from last year, which was like 11 something, wasn't it?
And I believe it was,
So they increased it and then they restricted
it. Yeah.
Right. And last year, it was like 11 something, and 3 of that was restricted to these constraints we're talking about.
And from what I heard, they didn't even use that full $3 million anyway.
I have heard that to be the case as well. And I'm not 100%
right. I wouldn't don't hold me to that, but
so
it sounded like they didn't even take advantage of it.
So then where does that money go?
I don't know. Maybe it went to the rest of the state. I don't know.
That's probably why we have more this year.
Maybe
they hold over.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
Right.
That is a holdover and not.
But I just don't see them doing
distributed.
Almost $14 million worth of these projects. My fear is it's going to be used for things that it wasn't intended for.
Well, there's pretty strict controls in place to ensure that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Like I said, you're not getting the funding until those receipts are turned in. And it's pretty easy to check a receipt and see that it was for Jimmy John's and not for, a bud capping project.
Okay.
So there are some checks and balances there, but you're right. I'm sure it's possible, right, to use all that funding in those areas. I don't know that it all needs to be done in 1 year at the expense of doing any of the work in outstate Minnesota.
Right.
Right. Because it's like, okay, what if they never use the full 3 million before? Mm-hmm. How are they going to use 14? I just don't, that doesn't seem math doesn't math there.
Right. No. It doesn't compute as to why they are restricting so much.
Fully support them doing projects in those areas.
100%. This is again, just theoretical.
Okay.
But here's what I'm thinking they were envisioning, right?
Okay.
Is they know organizations like MDHA, like Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited, you name it, all use these funds for projects. Right. And we tend to do those projects in the areas where people hunt and fish and recreate.
Right.
And this almost, in a way, forces our hand to try to get creative and use some of that funding in these areas where it's historically a little more difficult to get that work done because you've got, bigger cities and you're dealing
more private land.
Right. And you're dealing with a lot of different issues. So maybe they're trying to kind of strong arm us into focusing our efforts there. But at the same time, let's get the most bang for our buck, right? If I can take, get a $150,000 CPL grant, let's say, and, we would put up 15,000. We take that 150,000 and we accomplish, 600 acres of bud capping and, thermal cover project in, let's say, St. Louis County.
Right.
That's awesome, right? Like that's a big deal. It's in an area where our deer herd really needs it. But now if I take 150,000 and I'm limited to, I don't even know, Harriet Island.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to do anything at as large of a scale, and it's going to cost more to do less. Right. So I think the funding could be used. I just don't see, I don't see the need for all of it to go there.
Right. I don't understand.
At the expense of rural Minnesota.
Yeah. Why didn't they do incentives or allocate a certain portion instead of all 13?
Which they have been doing.
Right. So why not just say, hey, if, we're going to allocate $8 million to the metro area and we're going to give you an incentive instead of a 10% non-state match, we're going to do 5.
Right.
If you do these projects in these areas, that would, that make a
but
maybe lot more
maybe
sense.
like you're saying, they're trying to force these conservation groups' hand
and that's
to
just
look for projects.
Right.
I mean, and that's what we have to wonder, because I don't know that there was any real logic given that I know of.
It wasn't.
No,
because it wasn't. From my understanding, this wasn't the original vision.
No, this was slipped in last minute,
late,
the wee hours of the morning into an omnibus package, right? That had already been approved, then required a revote, and it did ultimately pass, right?
Right.
And I think, I don't know, maybe I'm giving our politicians too much benefit of the doubt.
More than likely.
I think maybe they overlooked the impact this might have, and they looked at all of the good that this omnibus environmental bill is going to accomplish. But this is a big one.
It is
big missed opportunity.
Right. Because I can 3 point whatever million was forcibly set aside for the metro already out of this program before. And my understanding is that money was never fully spent anyway. Now we're going to 14 million, and the vast majority of that is for the metro area, which again is great. We want to do projects down there.
There are,
but I don't know if there's that amount of projects there.
There are very worthy projects within
absolutely
that area, right? But it doesn't warrant, this kind of microscopic vision of conservation,
and excluding 3/4 of the state,
right?
2/3, whatever it is.
Yeah,
9/12.
9/12. Okay, whatever. Fractions are hard,
right?
Yeah, and this was passed by 47-20.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised that as I'm looking at a sheet here, I'm kind of surprised that a few of the representatives that
careful with your wording here.
Yep, that allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
And especially in some of the greater Minnesota areas.
Well, and that's the thing, is this was passed in bipartisan fashion.
Yeah. And it seemed overwhelmingly popular
definitely.
From the numbers that I'm looking at. So I don't quite understand it. And maybe they gave some kind of explanation, but I can't find it.
Well, whenever you're trying to get legislation passed, there are going to be concessions.
Well, absolutely.
Yep.
And I think this was a concession that was made that should have never been made.
I just don't understand putting aside rural Minnesota completely.
Right.
I mean, if you want to give more money to the metro area and the bigger towns, fine. Let's make sense of it. Let's hear why that makes sense. But don't exclude the entirety of the rest of the state and just ignore those projects because there's probably more of them just because of the land.
Right.
So this funding source we're talking about is precisely what people look for when they say that they want government programs. This is what they want government programs to do.
Right.
They want you to take locally raised money and put it right back into the dirt it was raised on.
Exactly.
And we've got all of these taxpayers outside of the 7 counties and the 3 other cities that want to see that happen, and that, they voted for this.
Right.
And now that rug is being pulled out from under them.
And now they're not even eligible.
Right.
I mean, if you got a project in your backyard, let's say, or in our hometown of Grand Rapids,
right,
not going to happen this year. And there's nothing saying it's going to change to come back the following year.
No,
unless we make our voices heard.
Right. So say, like you said, they don't use all that 13.
No.
Then where the hell does the rest of it go? Does it get carried over?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No idea. I'm guessing it gets put somewhere else, knowing what you know about most,
Right. And of course, at this point, we're kind of SOL at it, or on it.
Right.
Well, yeah, there's not much. This year, it's just what it is, I think.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we can't be loud.
Right.
And let them know that this
better not do this again next year.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the message.
This is unacceptable. So, and it is, I'm going to say it's election day today.
Yeah.
So we're going to remember this, and we're going to make sure our members remember this.
Right.
And let's do better next time.
Well, yeah, exactly. Restore the statewide CPL opportunity and maintain an appropriate opportunity for the metro.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not saying take that away, because there's always been a reserve set aside for only those projects.
Yeah. And those projects have been historically neglected, and they deserve funding.
Right.
I want to be crystal clear about that.
Absolutely.
They don't deserve all the funding.
No.
Right.
But now that they're getting 14 million, I want some great bow hunting opportunities down there that I can take advantage of, because some of my tax dollars are going there.
Yeah. I want to go see a concert at Harriet Island with my bow in hand.
Right. And you were just there. So I've been down there several times
down to the Irish Fest.
Right. And I've been down there for that yacht club concert thing. Yeah. It's a beautiful place, but what can you do? Right. I mean, because this stuff is supposed to be for wildlife too, right? Not just facilities.
It's not that it has to be wildlife and water, right? It's
which we want to improve across the state,
right?
The entirety of the state.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to highlight, I can obviously only speak on behalf of MDHA,
right?
But we are one of many, many, many groups, conservation organizations that take this funding, put it right back into the ground that we rely on for our pastimes and our livelihood, right? And to date, MDHA alone has done like 140 of these CPL projects. It's like over $8 million in habitat restoration, something around 60,000 acres through those handful of projects, right? 130, 140.
All over the state.
All over the state. And that's just the restoration. We've also got about 2,000 acres that we have acquired and given back to be public land.
Right.
Right. So, and that's again, one organization. Now you take all of these other organizations that are working through this funding source as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big impact, right?
It's going to be.
So I'm curious to see where this goes, and we will definitely be loud in this upcoming session, and we encourage everyone else to do the same.
Yeah, because I'd like to hear what Rocky Mountain Elk, PFDU,
they got to be saying the same things
they
we
have
are.
to say, because we haven't heard anything from them.
No, and we work with them on these projects.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. They're partners on a lot of the projects.
Exactly. Oftentimes we co-raise that matching funds, right?
Right.
I'm curious to get their input on this as well. And we launched a petition.
Yes, just today we launched a petition. We want to know who supports this, and we've gotten some input back already when we launched it on Facebook today. Basically, if you see that post, go there and just put your name in there and let us know that you support MDHA pushing for funding for the rest of the state these projects across the rest of the state, and that we shouldn't just hyper focus on urban areas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't too harsh, right? I mean, we wanted to do projects.
No, that was not too harsh.
Across the state.
Right. Across, the
The entirety of the state, including the metro, which has always been set aside, because there's a certain percentage set aside, and there always has been, for metro area projects and new organizations.
Mhm.
And I think that almost equaled half of the funding historically.
So that was the new organization aspect was a recent change.
Okay.
And it was to try to get new blood into the system, right? Let's give an opportunity to newer, smaller organizations.
So they were given some type of, they were given a percentage of the funding.
Yep. It was set aside, and that wasn't fully utilized as well. And so they actually released the remainder of that to, historical partners as
and
well.
when like MDHA, Ducks Unlimited, Rocky Elk. Mm-hmm.
Rocky Elk.
Yeah, it was like me shortening it in my brain.
Right.
There you go.
We don't have mountains around here, okay? But we have elk.
We have rocks.
And we have rocks.
It's perfect.
And they do projects here in Minnesota.
The new Minnesota elk is Rocky Elk.
Rocky Elk.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna tagline that.
Rocky Elk?
Yep.
I should do it right now.
Right? The Minnesota elk is now the Rocky Elk.
Rocky Elk. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they have rocks up where they are.
This whole country is rocky.
Yeah, well, in our neck of the woods it is, but
I think it's rocky up
Northwest,
there too.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
All them fields, there's rocks in there.
Okay.
I was just kind of looking over some of the some of the projects in certain counties, especially obviously in the greater Minnesota. Itasca County recently received $55,000 to protect conifers in a 270 acre.
Yeah.
And
area.
we have projects like that across the state.
Yeah.
And if you look at our website, we do list some simple projects we've done. And I don't know what percentage of counties we've worked in, but it's a high percentage.
Oh, it's the majority.
Right.
And we had probably 10 to 15 grant applications in the works when
this came down.
Yep.
And, we had, and that's the other thing about this funding, right? It's not even that we as MDHA say, hey, we want to do a bud capping project over in Carlos Avery or whatever it might be. Let's go apply for a CPL grant. We can do that, and we have, but the majority of these projects are coming directly from the people who live in those communities, either through
that have a need,
right? Either through their MDHA chapter going. So let me back up. Most of the funding we get happens one of two ways. Number one, we get contacted by a land manager. So let's stick with Carlos Avery. Whoever's managing Carlos Avery reaches out and says, hey, we have a great opportunity for a habitat project that will have XYZ benefit on, 1, 2, 3 wildlife species, right? Would you like to apply for funding and make this happen? Because there's a real need for it. And then we say, great, we'll go out, we'll find the funding. CPL is our number one source to do that. The other way this happens is our chapters are very active in their communities, right? And they hunt public land in their communities, and they'll go out to Carlos Avery. We'll just stick with it. And they'll say, I was hunting over in this area and I noticed a bunch of buckthorn popping up, and we should probably do an invasive species removal project. Then they reach out to their land manager, the land manager of Carlos Avery, and say, hey, would you be interested in us coming up with the funds to do a buckthorn removal project?
Right.
And they get that blessing from the land manager. And then they'll come back to us at the state office and they'll say, hey, we got the land manager to sign off. He wants this to happen. We want to do a buckthorn removal project. Can you find us funding? So all of this is locally grown funding and projects, right? Like these are needs that have been identified by the community that will serve the wildlife in that community. And now all of that
funding is gone
for
because those
rural
land managers, they don't have access to the funds. They need organizations like MDHA.
Correct. They need a non-state entity.
To access this fund. So that's why they come to us.
Correct.
Like, hey, we know you guys have access to these funds. Here's some great projects that'll help. And that's how that whole process works. And I just want to clarify that Carlos Avery, for those of us that don't know, is a WMA.
Yes. Thank you.
In central southern Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you'd call
Kind
it.
of Rum River area.
Right. Just so everybody
it's
who
pretty
doesn't
close to the metro.
Right.
It is. Yeah,
It is.
Actually, Carlos Avery would. It was a
Right.
bad example.
Well, it was, but I mean, we'll still do projects there, and we historically, I think, have.
Yes.
But,
We have, yes.
but that is just one example. But
Right. So yeah, Carlos Avery was a bad example because I believe they would still be eligible under this model, but we have the majority of our WMAs in public land fall outside of.
Right. And I think that brings up another point is this is something that we are disappointed about. However, we do have chapters in these areas and we'll still do projects in these areas. Hopefully if we have, the need for them.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're still going to be doing
not going to stop CPL projects, but we just won't be able to serve the geographic area that we have always been able to.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So
since what, 2008, 2009? When did this start again? 2009, I want to say.
Something like that.
Yeah. Mid 2000s.
Yeah. 2009.
We'll say that.
So yeah, we'll still be doing them, but we're very, very restricted on where we can do them. But luckily, MDHA has some great chapters all over the state.
Yes.
And we can still work with certain chapters to get things done.
Right.
With this funding.
And, we have chapters from all over the state that don't always want to do habitat projects only within their community.
Right.
And so, yeah, we'll stick with Carlos Avery.
Okay.
We could have a chapter up in Grand Marais, right? And they can't access this funding, but they have some funds that they would like to give for matching dollars. And they say, you know what? We trust you. Find us a good project that still qualifies for CPL funding and we'll help you raise the matching funds. And we can still do that. Right. Mm-hmm. But we won't be able to serve all of the communities that our chapters represent through this funding source.
Yeah.
But that's the reason they go out and raise those funds, and they're not going to allow those funds to not go unused. So if they don't have a need in their community, they're gonna chip in other people's community across the state.
100%. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, we had, what was that, last year? We worked with Pheasants Forever to open up the new WMA right up on the Rainy River, the Lessard Anderson WMA, and we had chapters down in Winona and Wyndham. Donating to that. Right. So yeah.
Which is about as far away as you can get from that WMA.
Pretty much Iowa to Canada.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But that's what our chapters do.
Yeah. Because we are
yearly.
one state.
Exactly. We're Minnesota Deer Hunters Association.
Right.
Every chapter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting, but please, I encourage everyone to check out our Facebook, find that link to the petition.
Yeah. And you'll be hearing more. It'll be in our newsletters.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to keep posting and sharing about it. So you might get sick of hearing about it, but I'm going to keep reminding you guys.
Yes. And once the session kicks off, the legislative session, we'll be talking about it at the Capitol, and there will probably be many calls to action regarding this topic.
I mean, just letting you guys know what's happening and setting up a petition to know, that you support us is just the first, and then, sign up for a membership if you are not already a member, because we need your support. And the more of you we have behind us, the louder our voices.
Yes. The one more thing I do want to touch on is we're not only talking about an impact on habitat in rural Minnesota. We're talking an impact on the economy, right?
Oh, 100%.
Because when we do these habitat projects, we're not hiring contractors from, Wisconsin to come work in Hallock, Minnesota, right? We're hiring local contractors. We're boosting the economy. Those contractors are filling up at the local gas stations, right? And it's really a big economic boost to do one of these habitat projects in your area. And then that impact lasts a long time down the road because now you have that added recreational impact as well.
Right.
So that's another detriment that is a result of this policy.
Right. And I'm sure there's multiple, and we're just learning it as we go right now.
Right. Yeah. So. And this was they slipped it in last minute, and we've been kind of quiet about it for probably too long. But that's, I think, why you haven't heard from anyone about this is because we're all kind of deer in the headlights. Like, what the hell just happened?
Yep.
How are we going to respond to this?
Exactly.
Kind of building a strategy of, well, where can we reallocate funding? Where can we reallocate efforts? And now I think we're ready to talk about it and really get the voice of the people behind us to try to make this change moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. It's like, we haven't heard from anybody.
Right.
Nobody has put it out publicly or what's going to happen, what they're doing, what the next step is, what the next move is, so good for MDHA to be able to kind of be the first ones yet again to step out and say, hey, this ain't right.
Yeah,
let's figure out a way.
I'm proud about it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and if you are interested in knowing kind of who voted for this and who spearheaded this, we're not going to name names on this podcast because we tend to then get banned on YouTube and everything. But we have an article that's on our Facebook. It's on our website. Yes.
That has those names on there.
You can know exactly who was in that committee.
Right. And feel free to ask them questions and get some answers. And if you do, share them with us and we'll discuss them.
Yeah.
Because we'll be reaching out to them too, obviously, and getting some reasoning behind this, especially the ones that are located in greater Minnesota.
That's right. Because there are quite a few.
Yeah. Because their communities are definitely going to be affected by it.
Yep.
And again, I want to say we fully support funding projects in the metro areas.
Right. 100%.
But not restricting it to only the metro areas.
Yeah. And I would encourage you. So I'm going to tell you what my plan is when I talk to these individuals next. And I would encourage you to maybe try a similar strategy.
All right.
Like we talked about, when you're trying to get policies adopted, to become law.
Okay.
Concessions inevitably have to be made.
Absolutely.
Right? So when I talk to these individuals, what was so great that you were willing to make this concession to accomplish, right? And I expect a damn good answer.
Right. And maybe there is a damn good answer.
Maybe there is.
But I can't imagine what it is.
I can't either, because I watched that session very closely and I didn't see much of really anything too exciting.
No.
It was a Thursday. I wanted to go home.
Right. Right. That's kind of what I'm expecting, honestly.
Right.
But I can't see it right now.
Yeah.
I can't either.
So,
but anyway, you will be hearing more about this. I mean, that's part of our job, is to make sure you know what's going on as a member and as a non-member even. And if you're a non-member, please join again. I like to say that to help support this. This will be something that we are probably harping on probably all year.
Right. I would say so, and I would just say that my final thought is, why is a habitat project that yesterday was considered a worthwhile project, a net benefit to Minnesota's economy, our habitat, our wildlife populations, and today it's no longer deemed worthy just because it's a little too far from a major metropolitan area. Like, policy doesn't change real life conservation work.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be reflected in how we allocate money.
Right. That came from the entirety of the state.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because I pay those taxes.
Right. Yeah. Because we all do. So on that note, what else we got going on? I know we got some MDHA events coming up here, even in August yet.
We do.
Let's switch gears a little bit here.
We're going to be at Game Fair next weekend.
Right. We'll be back at Game Fair next weekend. Well, this weekend.
This coming weekend.
So, I feel like we just got back from there.
I know we did. We were just there.
We just left.
So, I mean, it was a good time. I mean,
it always is.
We always had good conversation. The conversations from year to year always switch and change.
They do. Yes, you can tell what is the pressing issue by showing up to Game Fair.
You can, because people are going to come in and start asking you questions about how you feel, how you think, what are you doing about this.
Yep.
And what I thought was funny is, so last year, wolves were on everybody's mind.
Oh yeah, we had tons of conversations.
It was all about wolves. Right. Every conversation. This year, not so much.
No, we had one conversation.
Two wolf maybe. Yeah, one.
One that I remember. And
then
I mean, it was a good conversation.
Oh,
fair
it was.
conversation.
It was positive. The guy was actually intelligent.
He was reasonable and
reasonable.
understood.
Yeah, yep. And honestly, we only had probably, I would just say one, uninformed gentleman, but he was very receptive on what we were saying and talking about. And I think and I think that helped.
Yeah.
Where in the past we've had a few people that were uninformed and
They had their
not
mind
receptive.
made up,
Their mind was made up. I mean, granted, we get a few of those. We had one gentleman come over. I thought it was funny as hell. Picks up a koozie, although there's the tablecloth, bright orange.
It could not be more obvious that it's an MDH.
Exactly. He comes up, grabs a koozie. Nope. Turns around and walks away.
I think it was a statement more of anything else.
Oh yeah. He didn't want anything to do with
which that happens at these events.
Yeah.
It happens.
You can't make everyone.
But that booth is us. We have flags flying in the air.
Right.
We got things sticking out everywhere.
Okay, John, just walk away, bud.
Right.
It's
like you didn't hurt her feelings, but
what I like also about it is we get to meet some of our partners and talk to them.
Oh yeah.
Every year. It's about the only time that we kind of get to talk to John one-on-one from the
Trap League.
Right.
Yeah. USA Clay Target League. So that's always great to converse with him, and we met our buddies at Roger Up.
Yeah. NWTF, Pheasants Forever. I mean, the SCI.
Yes.
I mean, we got to talk to all these guys. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. And and DNR stopped by, talked to us a bit. We had the new reg book and we
got to meet the incoming Fish and Wildlife director.
We had like 4 or 5 different stops from the DNR come by and talk to us.
Yeah, we did.
So
because they have different people working every day. So everybody wants to swing by the MDHA booth and chat with us and
And
you're always welcome.
There's always people running for office that are walking around.
Yes.
To have conversations with them.
Especially on election years.
Right.
Yeah.
We heard it all.
I guarantee you there will be less this coming weekend. We all just voted.
I was just thinking that.
That's a fair point. I didn't think of that.
I was just thinking it's like next weekend it'll be quieter on that front.
It's going to be way quieter.
And unfortunately, like I just said, our votes have already been cast, in the primary.
Right.
But I would love to be able to hold a primary and then see who still shows up.
Right. Who actually really does.
And then be able to change your vote maybe.
Right. And that's fair. And maybe we'll report back. Because we can tell you who was there last weekend.
Yeah.
Who's going to show up and care this weekend.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, it's a great event. But back to, the topic of conversation and how it changes from year to year. It's always whatever the hot button issue is. And like you said, last year was wolves. This year, I feel like it's all about the new CWD.
There was a lot of CWD.
There was a lot of that.
Right?
Yeah.
This rotational surveillance thing. And
there was a lot of the shotgun rifle conversation. We had some of those.
Yeah. What I loved is, this one I remember, this gentleman walks in with his 2 sons and he sits down in the chair right beside us. You weren't there, Jared. And he sits down. He's like, man, finally. A deer hunting booth.
Yeah. That guy was great.
Yeah. And so we sit and talk and he's a bow hunter and it was just great to converse with him. And then he showed us pictures of, he gets, sheds.
Yeah.
He's a big shed hunter in a WMA.
Right.
So it's like, how awesome is that?
And he's got sheds from this deer for how many years?
You said like 8 or 9.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
We're not talking a small deer here.
No.
Right.
This thing's a beast.
And he said he's finally going after it this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've seen pictures of him. He has them stacked on top of each other. So this guy's legit.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. So that one sticks out, in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was numerous like that every day.
Oh, there was.
Which is great because it makes time go by because we're there all day.
Yep.
So I love the conversations about deer hunting.
Yeah. And I mean, we get a lot of people that stop in. But why would they stop in? What do we have in the booth that is like just
my God.
We
got all kinds of stuff in the booth.
But front and center.
It's
this big, beautiful Articat Prowler 800.
Yes.
And the flow on
the flow
cargo max.
And everybody loved both of them.
And what I like
is
when
kids came in and said, "Can we sit in it?
Can we climb in it?" Yeah. I mean, the kids are the best because they're like, "Oh wow, look at that."
Yep.
Mhm.
And what I think is great is, we say, hey, yeah, you can win that. You can enter the win that. Oh, by the way, the tray that comes with it. No way.
I always love throwing in that.
Yeah.
You also get the trailer.
And that does entice a few more people.
Oh, yeah. Because they're always
when we mention that flow tray.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the education raffle going on.
Yep. The education
They
raffle.
get their raffle tickets right there.
And those just came out.
Yeah.
I mean, they are
Hot off the press.
hot off the presses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Unless it's kind of a damp day, then it's not so much.
Right. And which usually down there is pretty humid. So.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's 30 prizes, mostly 2A items.
Right.
Some cash prizes.
There's a couple crossbows.
A couple crossbows.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got a good mix of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're
50 BMG.
we're talking about the 50 BMG. People are very interested. We got a nice big picture of it there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a good time to stop by the booth.
It really is.
Hang
And
out,
from
talk
what
with us,
from when I looked at the weather, it's going to be a little bit cooler.
which is always good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Might have a little rainy potential day on Saturday. I don't know yet.
I'll take that over heat and humidity.
Right. But let's hope the weathermen are a
We're in
little
a tent.
bit wrong,
We're in a
which they
tent.
normally are. So they can knock it down a little bit. But
Mhm.
it's always a great weekend at Game Fair.
Oh, yeah. And if you're scared of the rain, all you have to do is make it to us and then you're covered.
Yeah,
Right,
and in tent with
We
us.
got
If it's
chairs.
hot, we have fans.
We
We have
a
chairs.
mister.
Yep.
Yes, we'll
We-
keep you cool.
Exactly. What I like is I always like when Ron Scherer walks by.
Ron walks by a
And
couple
he
times a
always
day.
had-
Yeah. And he stops. He goes,
Ron.
hey, guys.
Right.
How's it going, boys?
How's it going, boys?
It's
always-
every year, and it's usually every day of every year. He reminds us what his member number is.
Yes.
Which you would think by now I'd have it memorized, but I
You would
know
think.
it's like in the single digits.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. And he'll stop and usually give us some advice. And when it's Ron giving you advice, you take that advice.
Right.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. It's always nice to talk to him. And he
Absolutely.
always makes points to stop by, or at least
He always does. He makes it a point to stop by, if not every day, at least once a weekend.
oh gosh.
And he says hi,
It's
usually on the way
it's
by.
usually
I mean, it's usually
multiple
every
times a
day.
day.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Mhm.
I don't know. My favorite is, everyone there has dogs with them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love when the dogs come in the booth and
I know.
grab some ice out of the cooler for
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I just love to see the dogs and how well trained they are,
Mm-hmm.
and the variety
Right.
of the dogs.
Could use a few more Great Pyrenees, but not much.
There were some interesting ones this year.
There
What was that?
actually-
A Shih Tzu whose hair was dyed purple?
I would
Right.
say a
Yes.
purple shit.
Purple shit.
Yeah,
I
purple shit.
seen a Doberman.
Yes. And there was a
Rottweiler?
God, that thing was
Uh-huh.
gorgeous.
It was the
That Rottweiler was gorgeous.
I always get so excited when the Weimaraners and the Vizslas come by.
Yeah.
I love those dogs.
They are pretty. I obviously, just like you with the Great Pyrenees, I'm Black Lab.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gorgeous
Man,
Black
I love
Lab.
They're all great dogs. They're all
Right.
very well
They are.
behaved.
Yeah.
And I love it when they come in. They want to come in our booths and lay down because it's shaded.
Mhm.
And it's always
And
nice
they
when
always smell the deer hide
they come. right.
over
They
the-
love that. They
over
like
the table.
take a V line toward that.
They
thing.
do.
And they know
Yeah.
that I'm going to give them a water cookie.
Right.
Nobody peed on it this year.
We should bring biscuits this time.
We should.
Although I
Yeah,
don't know if
but-
all dogs can have biscuits.
I know that's the thing is I've seen booths that just have them in a cup because, of course, there's certain owners that,
Yeah.
well, I can only have this kind of biscuit.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I only give my dog peanut butter biscuits for a reason.
Right.
But
I'd only give them the Great Pyrenees or Shepherds or stuff like that because I'm kind of into the fuzzy dogs.
right.
Yeah.
There's quite a few fuzzy
There's
dogs.
quite
that
a
just
few
come through.
Shepherds there.
What I want to see is that little wiener dog jump off that dock
Right.
going after that decoy.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah. If you love dogs, it's a great event for you.
It is.
You'll
For
see
sure.
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dogs of every variety,
Yep.
Yep.
big to small.
For sure. I know. So I might have to spend some money this upcoming weekend.
What you can buy?
Well, since we got into some waterfowl hunting,
Right.
I need a blind bag.
Right.
Not blind bag,
I got
sorry.
lots of them.
Decoy bag.
I mean,
Not blind
I'll
bag,
say just
decoy
once. $30 can save you $100
bag.
bucks.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Drake.
that guy. Those guys, let me tell you, that salesman, he was good.
He was good.
He was good.
He's hardcore.
Great salesman if you are just walking by.
Yes.
If you're sitting there listening to it all day,
Yeah.
you very quickly want to kill him.
Yeah, he's like a carnival barker.
Yeah, I
10
think
feet from you.
if he's the same guy this upcoming weekend, when he stands out there, I'm going to stand out there.
Oh yeah.
And when he says his line, I'm going to say our line. Hey, come on in, get a ticket for the Articat. You know,
Right.
get a ticket for education.
Right.
You know, and I'll kind of think of some line. I can't think of it right now, but we'll think of some.
Well, his whole pitch was, waterproof duffel bag, only $30. And of course, I'm listening to it all day, so I got a waterproof duffel bag.
He did.
So I'm going to go out there next time he's there, and I'm going to say, waterproof duffel bag, only $29.
I'm putting $100 in your pocket. You guys are stealing it from
You're
me.
leaving $100 on the ground.
$100 on the ground. You know how many times I about ran over there and grabbed that $100?
Right. It's like, you put $100 in my pocket, buddy. I'll buy a bag.
Right. But yeah, I need a decoy bag,
A slew stool.
a slew stool.
Yes.
What else was I thinking? There's something else.
There was something else.
Oh, I need the Texas
finisher.
Texas rig.
And
Oh,
the finisher.
finisher. Damn
Yeah.
it, we
I was
forgot
going to buy
about
the
that.
finisher
Yeah.
last weekend, and I forgot.
But you need the Texas rigs for sure.
I gotta have those.
Mhm.
Yep. I need to see how many decoys I have, but I do like
You
your
should check
idea.
that before we go.
I do like your idea of just grabbing that bigger bag because I have others I can throw in there. So
Mhm.
so those are a few things. So
Or you can just get a $30 waterproof duffel bag and use it as a
Right.
duffel
And you
bag.
could save $100.
I'm not going to buy one just because of that, but I do like that jacket. I
It
mean,
is a
if
nice jacket.
if that thing goes on sale a little bit more,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to those boys.
If it drops
So-
below 100,
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's the kind of deals you can
And-
find at Game Fair, guys.
and we're going to bring a grunt call this time.
We better. I mean, I want to hear bucks grunting. I want to hear
Man.
snort wheezes. I might even want to hear an elk.
oh, I'll bring my bugle.
Do it.
Yeah.
I want to hear bugles because all we hear all day long is geese and duck calls. And
I'm bringing my bugle. That's a good
Dude.
idea.
And it
I
really
want a
never
bugle.
fails
Please
when
do.
you're having a good conversation with somebody.
you have to scream
Them
because
sons of
somebody's
bitches just let off.
cranking on a goose call.
Yep. And I don't know about you guys. I don't get it. Okay, I get you're trying out the call. You want to know how the reads work and all that kind of stuff. But do you really have to call like the ducks are at 12,000 feet? Because I've been duck hunting a few times, and they're not above about 20 yards
I have
above the water level.
I have never heard a duck as loud as those people blow their calls.
Right.
Oh my God. And
I love the guys that get so animated with it.
Oh yeah, they're
like,
just
oh,
doing.
man.
They're like
Yeah.
flipping their fingers
Oh,
around.
yeah.
It's not even doing
it's
anything.
like magic.
It's like if you were in my duck blind, I would shoot you, or I'd push you out.
Now we're gonna get blocked because you're talking about shooting.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll
so
beep that out.
They're going to be the duck dog,
Right.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they're a
Yeah.
bad dog.
I mean, they seem to know what they're doing, but
They sure do. I
after
do
3
envy.
days,
I do envy being able to call like that because I can't.
oh heck no.
Because I sound like a yeah. I'm not even going to say it, but
By the end of this weekend, we will all be masters of the elk bugle.
I hope so.
yeah,
It's the only way we could possibly compete with those things.
Oh, that
Pretty
thing's
much.
loud.
Good.
yeah, good.
Looking forward to it. So yeah, another event. I know we talked about Game Fair a lot, but I know we will be attending an event next weekend. Not this weekend, the following weekend,
Oh,
August
trail ride.
22nd, the
Ah,
trail ride,
Yes,
where we will have the Articat Prowler
Yes, Itasca chapter MDHA trail ride.
Right.
Up Scenic 7.
Up Scenic 7, up past the Balsam ATV parking lot. I did catch wind today that there's going to be a bunch of rides happening that day. So there's going to be a lot of machines on the trail.
Hmm.
So
so we'll be
it's-
doing about 10 miles an hour.
right. Come on out. It's going to be a hoot. There's a lot of stuff happening. Check out the Prowler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll definitely have it there.
we'll have a QR code on the back of it
Yeah.
somewhere.
It'll have
We'll have it
MDHA
taped
and
on the back
Articat
of
flags
Jared's
to
head.
it. Yeah.
We should have got him a T-shirt.
And I want,
With a QR code.
Yeah.
Scan me.
come on out and compare your machine to that Prowler. I bet that Prowler is quieter.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll drag race.
He is quieter.
Right.
And Whisper Tech.
Whisper Tech.
Whisper Tech.
It's a great hunting machine.
Is that truly what it's called? Whisper Tech?
Yeah, it really is.
I dig it.
And it's legit. It's
Oh, it is
crazy
quiet. I am
For a
I am
3-cylinder
impressed.
engine, that
Yeah.
thing is
Mhm.
quiet.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah, it's nice.
So yeah, and then check out the MDHA website. We have all kinds of banquets going down next month.
They're coming up. They're coming
Some
up
gun
fast, man.
bingos coming up. I know we have one with Roger up in October.
October, yeah.
So check that out. Be sure to be there. There's some sweet guns. 2A items, firearms, whatever you want to say, that you could win. I mean, there's a bunch that I'm excited
that's
for.
Gonna be sweet.
We're talking. I don't even want to say what they are, but
Yeah.
I don't want any competition.
These are the guns that the 2A items that
Right.
you want, but you can't justify spending money for.
Well, you can come out and
but you
spend
can win.
$60 and maybe walk away with more than one of them.
Right.
And you can tell your wife you only spent $60.
Yeah.
And you walked away with 4 times as much.
Right. And support veterans in the area.
4 times as much.
Yeah,
Way more than 4.
That's
He's
about
not
4
that great
times,
a man.
Right. $240.
Okay. 4.
More like 30 times as much.
Right.
Yeah. That.
Right.
Or 40 times.
A lot. We're going to say
it's a lot more.
instead of numbers, we're just going to say Kimber.
Ooh, there you go.
Boom.
Right.
Yeah, just to name drop
one.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And
Right.
there's multiples that start with
that.
Kimber.
Right.
There is.
Amongst other amazing
There's
ones.
even a Marlin.
Right.
Okay, I guess we're name dropping 2.
We'll do
Anyway,
2.
Okay. There's a lot of
Those are the great ones.
right. And it's going to be a hoot. They're going to have food.
Yep.
Come out and support the vets. We'll be there helping out.
Heck yeah, we will be.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
It will
I'm
be.
also going to be trying to win some though too.
Oh,
Definitely.
I don't try.
Bring your
I do.
cash.
Okay. Right.
Yep.
$60, you get what, 10 plays on this bingo stuff?
Dude, I don't even know.
So,
Plus there'll be some
Something like that.
walk-arounds.
Yeah.
mhm.
It'll be a great night. It'll be fun. And the proceeds go to help our veterans program
Yes.
and everything else.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Great,
event.
great program.
It really is.
So we got a lot coming up this fall, starting this weekend.
It's
Back
going
at
to be
Game
busy,
Fair.
but
That's right.
if you're in the Game Fair area, even if you're not, come on down. Check
Yeah.
it out. Say
It's
hi.
huge. It's
Yeah.
got to be one of the biggest, right?
It's very large.
I'm assuming it is.
I think it's one of the largest.
I get
I
tired
think so,
going
too.
to get lunch every day.
It's a hall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well, and then we got full draw
full draw. Yes, it's
coming
coming up
up.
next week.
Yep.
next week.
Check the website for details.
Get tickets.
So yeah,
So
I guess that's it. Stay tuned for more of the CPL issue coming from MDHA.
Yes.
Yep.
Your vote matters. Let your elected officials know that you want this funding to go to its intended purpose for all Minnesotans.
Entirety of the state of
We're
Minnesota.
not asking Minnesota to stop investing in metro habitat. We're just asking to invest in habitat everywhere.
Everywhere.
Absolutely.
Restore the CPL statewide.
Boom. I like that. Restore the CPL funding statewide.
Yep.
Love it.
And check out
CPL
our
for
petition.
all.
CPL for, I like
Ooh,
that.
that's good.
CPL for all. Sign our petition,
Boom. Yes.
which there'll be a link on here.
There's a link on the homepage of our website already, as it turns out.
There you go.
And
Deerhunters.com.
mndearhunters.com, and you can find it on our Facebook and on our Twitter and on our LinkedIn.
We have Twitter.
We do.
Yeah.
We've always have.
Hmm.
And Instagram. So most places you can find us, you'll find some image or a link to it.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks. Well, I think that's about it.
I think
Covers
so
it,
for this time. We'll
Yep.
talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association has been building our hunting and conservation legacy over the past 40 plus years through habitat, education, advocacy, and legislation in Minnesota for Minnesota.
The Minnesota Deer Hunters Association and Wolf Dot Report proudly sponsor this podcast. However, please note that the opinions, topics, and guests featured may not necessarily align with the views, beliefs, goals, or mission of our sponsors.
Need help and don't know where to turn? First Call for Help 211 connects you to free confidential support, including dedicated veteran services for housing, food, and mental health, available 24/7. Just dial 211. Help starts with your first call.